Celtics playing great?
They don't have a shot.
I know, they're Shaq in Miami. But, hey, give them some credit.
They really don't have a shot at winning at all.
In Boston, one of my favorite cities, April 8, 9 at the Connection. I'll be back up in Boston for the first time in a long time.
You're doing the Comedy Connection.
I love Boston, man.
And right around there, we'll be broadcasting live, I think. So.
You got to get Bill to drive you in this. What kind of car does Bill have?
Oh, Bill has a...
yeah.
Oh, he's the worst.
Yeah.
He was driving around in... I went up to Boston in my hiatus, and... You know, Bill owns the Comedy Connection. He's a good guy. He's like, hey, you want to go for a ride? I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, go down Newbury Street and stuff. Oh. He breaks out his Rolls-Royce convertible.
Yeah, not only that, he almost killed us on his boat. He drives like a maniac on his speedboat on Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard, no, there's not many rocks close to the shore or anything. He avoids the.
All right, wait. Yeah, he's one of these guys. Yeah, I got to explain this whole thing because I was wandering, man.
Of course.
Our 2 years off, I pretty much wandered around America, and I found myself up in Boston. Then I visited Bill. He has like this really nice house on the water in Falmouth, which is part of Cape Cod.
Yes.
And from his like living room window, you could see Martha's Vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
And it so happens that Ben was summering in Martha's Vineyard. So I call up Ben. I'm like, hey, Ben, I'm going to come see you. He's like, all right, cool.
Summering.
So then Bill goes, don't worry about the ferry. I could get you there in 20 minutes. It's like an hour ferry ride.
Really?
He goes, I could get you there in 20 minutes. I'm like, impossible. He goes, really? So we go down and get his boat. He has one of those stupid, like, cigar boats.
Cigar
boats.
Cigar.
So, I don't know. I don't know boating. One of those cigarette boats, you know, with the dual engines and the whole boat is out of the water. This guy, I swear to God, was going 50, 60 miles an hour over the water. Dude, he lost a lot of weight because he's one of these guys that got his stomach stapled.
Yeah.
You know how we were talking about the G-force the other day?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got that little thing real fast from. We were going so fast. I was so freaking scared. I was holding on so hard that my hands hurt for 2 days. His skin was like it was plastic, like rubber. It was so stretching, like flopping, like.
Really?
Dude, it was the scariest ride. So then I go to Martha's Vineyard, and I'm hanging out with Ben for a couple days, him and his pops and stuff. We had a really good time with the Nude Beach.
The Nude Beach, yeah.
And you didn't get a look at Ben's hog? What's wrong with you?
I don't go nude on the beach.
Wait, this story gets better. We're going all over the place. We're going all over the place. But Ben's father, he rented a house, for the month of, August or whatever.
Yeah,
Martha's Vineyard. And Ben and I are tooling around. That's when we saw Larry David stoned.
Uh-huh.
This is crazy. Yeah. Well,
Larry David.
Wait.
There's so many stories.
I know. Let me try to like organize all this. So Ben gets me at the dock, and we're driving back to where his father, has the pad for the month. And I'm like, dude, I heard Belushi's, buried around here. He goes, yeah, you want to see Belushi's grave? So I'm like, cool. So we go see Belushi's grave, which is really depressing because you just pull into this really awful graveyard. It's like really old. There's not much action there at all.
Action?
Well, you know what I mean.
What do you expect, a party?
No, it almost looks like one of these graveyards that everyone has seen where the people have gotten so old that no one's really visiting anymore, so the gravestones are falling down. Makes you feel real good about your mortality,
Haunted mansion kind of...
the gravestones are falling down.
Yeah.
And you pull into this graveyard, and there he is, right? There's his tombstone right there.
Yeah, he's kind of in his own little area, and it's kind of like Morrison's thing in Paris, where it's just
broken
beer cans all over the place.
People decide they want to sit and drink with John Belushi.
Yeah, you see like roaches and.
Of course.
And all it just says Belushi. It doesn't say dates, nothing. It
Really?
just says Belushi, and it's just a crappy rock. Yeah,
I was expecting a bigger display, whatever. So we check it out for a while.
I was a little disappointed with the Belushi gravestone.
Well, yeah. So then, he was one of the greatest. Of course. You think you'd get a little more respect in death, but. So then we start driving back to Ben's father's place there, and all of a sudden we're driving on this tiny little country road where cars are like, going pretty fast, okay? It's one of the main roads, I guess, on Martha's Vineyard. And all of a sudden we pass this guy that's on the other side of the road. He's in the middle of the road just wandering around, walking like aimlessly, smiling and looking up at the clouds and the trees. And I'm like, holy crap, that guy's really stoned. And Ben goes, dude, I think that's Larry David. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So we turn around and we go back and we look again, and sure enough, it's Larry David, in my opinion, really fucking stoned.
Really?
Just staring up at the trees and the sky in his own little world, not on the shoulder of the road, pretty much in the middle of that lane. And cars are like kind of going around him and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on?
Maybe he was ready to be mugged and he took Ben's advice. Ran out into the street. Just run out into the street.
So then we get to Ben's father's place, and we had a really good time. And all of a sudden, one of Ben's father's neighbors comes over, right? And it turns out to be Gwyneth Paltrow's uncle.
Right.
This story is effed up, but this all happened. So we're hanging out in like the kitchen area, and he brings over a bottle of wine because he's trying to make friends. You know, he noticed someone is in the house next door, so he comes by to be neighborly, right? So we're talking and stuff, and did we know it's Gwyneth Paltrow's uncle?
No, we didn't. He goes, "What do you guys think of the nude beach?"
Yeah. So all of a sudden we're drinking wine and stuff. He's like, "Hey, you guys check out the nude beach?" And I guess where Ben's father's place was, it was pretty close to the actual beach and the ocean, whatever. And, I mean, literally, you go on the beach and then literally go, oh, no, yeah. It's right there, I guess,
it's right there. The beach is right there.
So I guess if you want to be nude, you can be nude on this beach. And the guy's like, have you checked it out? It's really cool, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't know, the guy's in his mid-50s or whatever.
Right, an older gentleman stops over with wine and wants to take you to the nude beach?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Fucking fruit.
I got to be honest, though.
Yeah,
it turns out the guy's really, really cool, right?
The guy's a stud, too. He was,
because now...
Sounds it.
You look a little tense. You need a rub?
Because now he's a friend of Ben's father, right? But this is how it all began.
All that's missing is a Javalog and some firemen.
But I completely... Because I've been going to this beach since I was little, and there was never any hot chicks ever, or anyone that should be... nude. It was always just the big fat people running around this beach. So I'm like, it's always the fat pig, disgusting people that are on the nude beach.
It's usually the way.
That's always the case, man. Always the case. Those are the ones that feel comfortable in their nudity. Great. It's never the hot piece of ass. It's always some slob.
And you get the idiots that play nude volleyball, and they run and they dive and just,
diving on the beach naked? Animals.
So I guess it was the next day, like, these guys stay up and party and stuff, and I was getting up pretty early, like, literally this time, maybe a little earlier, and I would grab my coffee, and I go down the beach with my book. No one is, I swear to you, dude, no one is on the beach whatsoever. Nice, peaceful time of the morning, right?
Ben, is it true you went to the nude beach, and when you went swimming nude, Chief Brody started shooting at your hog in the water, telling everyone to get out of the water? No? I heard that story.
So, he got a rod, knocked the Kinder Boy off his little thing.
His little raft.
That's hilarious. So, I'm sitting there.
He hung his hog up on a big pulley.
License plate fell out of it.
That's not Ben's hog. It's a hammerhead shark.
Oh, what?
So, I'm sitting there enjoying my coffee, reading whatever, the paper or a book or something. No one there, just very peaceful, And all of a sudden, I look down the beach, and I see this guy jogging. He's doing his morning jog.
Is he nude?
And he's getting closer and closer, and I'm like, oh my God, that guy's fucking nude, right? And I'm looking, and all of a sudden I go, holy shit, it's Gwyneth Paltrow's uncle.
Oh no, it was the guy with the wine. See? The guy with the wine is now jogging down the beach naked.
Dude, he's literally like 20, 30 yards away from me. Oh. We make eye contact. I'm like, oh
no,
man.
How did you not just spin around?
Of course. And
just hide.
And then he ran quickly into the whatever, what do they call it?
Seagrass.
Yeah,
he ran like in the seagrass.
Ran into the dunes and the seagrass like he took a drastic right-hand turn. I'm like, oh, uncomfortable moment, man.
When you were sitting there reading your book, did he come over and stand right next to you while you're sitting in the chair?
Yeah. Cock height.
See anything you like?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Nice day. Hands on his hips. Yeah, looking around. Yeah, nice day. Everything's wagging in your face.
You got it on your shoulder a little.
So then Bill, who owns the Comedy Connection, he calls me up. He's like, hey, I'm bored. I'm going to take a ride around Martha's Vineyard. You want in? I'm like, hey, Ben, you want to go for a boat ride? Ben's father, really taking care of me and stuff. I figured I would kind of try to return the favor. Nice little boat ride because we didn't have a boat, right? So Ben's like, yeah, cool, man. So we meet Bill at where Carly
Bill in Menempsha. Yeah, Menempsha.
That's where
Harbor.
Carly Simon lives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carly Simon's little harbor
trying
area.
To keep count on celebrity names in the story.
Wow, it's very
trying
good.
To keep count.
Oh, dude, it's unbelievable. So we jump on Bill's boat, and he slowly but surely, goes out of the harbor, and we're like, hey.
Was he
cool.
nude?
No.
Why would you get on a boat with Bloomin'? I'd rather go for a ride with 3 Cleveland Indian pitchers.
Well, dude, I told I told Ben about the ride over to Martha's Vineyard, how this guy's a freaking lunatic, but we still decided to go for it, figuring the guy really knows what he's doing. Were you on the boat when we were going into another harbor and he was giving everyone the finger? Because do you know anything about boating? Where
I know a lot about boating.
All right, so you know when this is another little sidetrack. You know when you're going into harbors, we went into one of these harbors to have lunch, right?
Yeah.
And you know when you hit the buoys, you got to slow down really.
No wake.
No wake, exactly.
5 miles an hour.
Yeah. So yeah. But most people will cheat a little bit, maybe go 10.
You cheat a little depending on the time
you
of
got
day,
the harbor
how much
police.
traffic's there.
You got the harbor police just waiting to pull you over, whatever. Bill Blumenreich, we were flying into this harbor, dude. How fast? Be honest.
Real fast. Probably. I mean, we were going 30, 40 miles an hour out on the. I mean, he didn't really slow down. He cut people off.
If you do 10, you're going to get yelled at.
Yeah.
So we're heading toward the first buoy, and you know that starts the harbor, and there's boats coming in all directions, and you're just sitting in the back like, oh my God, he's trying to race this guy to the buoy. He's not going to slow down.
Boy.
So like Ben says, he's cutting people off and stuff, and he's still going pretty fast.
Well, if you want to go fast after you get through the buoy, you don't want to get stuck behind somebody.
Right.
So you got to get through there if you see the slowpokes.
Yeah. So you know, now there's people coming out of the harbor. And he's still flying the wake. No joke, dude. Just massive.
And rooster tail.
And people are in stupid little like sailboats and stuff, almost getting knocked into the water.
That's great.
And they're all trying to be nice, like hey, and they're giving the international sign of slow down. They're doing this with their hands, like up and down, like slow down. And all of a sudden, Bill just starts giving them a finger and going, "Fuck you, fuck you."
And you had one guy looking at us like the eyes from the black guy in Caddyshack when Rodney's coming at him. Whoa.
Yeah. He's just like, fuck you. So anyway, we get into the boat in Carly Simon's Harbor there, and the exactly. So then we start our little. He decides he wants to circle Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
He opens it up because he's one of these guys that has to show off.
Sure, you have a boat like that?
Dude, I'm one of these guys that I'm just happy to be on the water. I don't need to go fast. I'm just happy to be out there checking it all out, getting a little sun, you know. He's going so fast it can't be enjoyable. It just can't. You're holding on.
You're worried for your life.
You're holding on with both hands. Ben's on to my right. We're holding on. We can't even talk because we're going so fast. You don't want to move your head sideways because you think your neck's going to snap off.
Yeah.
You're going that fast, right? So then all of a sudden, what do you say? Do you have a?
I said, do you have like a depth finder and stuff? And not only that, because off of Martha's Vineyard, it's very rocky. You've got to really know where you're going at certain
You know how
points.
you started the show talking about Poe and the dangerous black gentleman?
Sure.
I was fine, more or less, that he's going fast, just assuming that we're in the middle of the ocean. It's got to be very deep water. Unless we, like, run over the Loch Ness Monster, nothing's going to happen to
Ben's
us.
hog, you mean?
Right. So all of a sudden, Ben, thank you, Ben, has to ask him if he has a depth finder. And Bill's like, oh, yeah, I do, but it broke like a month ago.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. The sensor scraped on the bottom.
We looked down at one point, and I mean, it was shallow.
Dude, I guess it's known to be very shallow around Martha's Vineyard, even if you're like...
And rocky, and it's very rocky as well.
Yeah. Even though you're like a mile out, it's still very shallow. So Ben finds out that Bill has a depth finder that's broken. The rest of the fucking boat ride, you're just sitting there going, oh my god.
At that speed.
Oh yeah, we're
it
just
really
like.
Doesn't matter anyway if you got a depth finder or not.
No, I know, but at least I guess it was a false sense of comfort or whatever.
Yeah, if you see like 40 feet under you, you're pretty
right.
Okay,
But then now we're just looking, and then we're looking over the side a little bit, like, oh my god, you could see the sand, and this guy will not fucking slow down, man. So, and then his face, like the rubber face.
You're riding through the harbor like Norman Thayer and Little Billy. You on the front of the boat.
So.
Nice.
What is that?
Oh, what is this? Is it? Oh, some pen.
It's a pen
finger
that makes
pen.
a fart noise.
Oh, you pull the
like
finger.
A finger.
Gotcha.
But that was.
So that all goes back to Jim playing the Comedy Connection in Boston.
Yeah, no, Bill.
April 8 and 9.
Bill Blumenreich. He is a great guy. He rocks. He gives me his penthouse suite when he's in Cape Cod. So,
ooh.
Which freaking rocks. What?
Ooh.
What were you gonna say? Oh yeah. Okay.
Is it a nice penthouse?
Let's just put it this way. I don't think Bill would mind. So get Ben back in here. So Ben and I go up to his penthouse suite, right? It's in the Ritz-Carlton. The place is freaking gorgeous, right? So I'm giving Ben...
He's got a penthouse in the Ritz?
Yeah.
Dude, that's got to run you $105,000.
At least.
I'm not even kidding. That's got at least. Yeah.
I think the tally could be more than that.
The guy is such a horn dog. He's got the best telescope to check out all the other buildings in the area.
Oh, really?
Dude, this telescope was meant to see the rings on Saturn, but he's using it to check out pussy in other buildings. It's great. So I'm giving, I'm there alone because, like in the summer, he's in Cape Cod, and we're friends, and we've helped him out over the years. So he returns the favor by letting me stay in his place when he's not there when I'm in Boston sometimes. So Ben comes up. I go, Ben, you got to check out his place, right? So we're walking around and stuff, and we notice that he has the Magnum extra large. What is the
like? What,
snooping? No, they were lying out next to the bed.
They were just lying out. We're not snoopers.
Did you sleep in that bed?
No. He's got I got my own room and everything.
Wait,
you did?
No, was it used and under the bed and you picked it up? Hey, this looks like a Magnum. Let me blow into it and see how big it gets.
Dude, he has to have a horse cock, man. They were like,
let's get him on the phone and ask him.
They were like, what are they? They were Magnum something else, like Magnum, like extra strength, extra. I don't know, something. Pretty much the biggest condom you could buy. The ones you wish you could buy when you're buying condoms.
What nationality is that? Is Bill?
I don't know, man. These were just horse condoms, though. Me and Ben giggled like little schoolgirls after we found that.
He probably doesn't fucking him. He probably just stuffs cash from the Comedy Connection and takes it to the bank.
Apparently. Wow. Guy's got a lot of cake.
So anyway, that's yeah.
He has a penthouse and it's got more than one bedroom. Is what you're saying?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. No, it's unbelievable. Actually,
how's the view?
Unbelievable. Really? Because he's on like the 30-something floor.
I have a hard enough time sleeping in someone's guest room. Never mind, like
Dude,
their bed.
This is better than a hotel, man. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Nothing's better than a hotel.
No, I'm telling you.
Penthouse,
you know why? Because it's in the Ritz, so you get the maid service and everything
you get
else.
the maid service and stuff?
And you can get room service if you want. So
and he wasn't there?
No, so it's like
then it's just a hotel room.
So it's like a hotel room, but it's someone's place. It's a lot nicer. It's decorated nice and stuff.
You just tend to do stuff that I would never do, like what you stayed at Bob's house, our agent.
Yeah, well, that's
like,
Well, I lived out there for like a month and a half when we got fired.
I could never.
So I lived upstairs, yeah.
Oh, why? That would be fun.
No, it isn't.
Dude, it was like a place to just drop my stuff because then I was going to Vegas. I went to San Diego, went up to San Francisco to see Norton.
Yeah, but
and then I come back to L.A. as my little home base.
Like sleeping in other people's houses.
But dude, I was out there for a month and a half.
Me.
I wasn't going to get a hotel for a month and a half.
No,
I get the whole upstairs. It's good. And then his little Mexican lady does all my laundry for me.
His Mexican lady
that he doesn't tip. So
he owns a Mexican.
I don't know, some lady. It's great though. Like she knows she's doing my laundry. And Bob's like, don't give her any money. I'm like, screw that, man. This is a nice luxury. So she would come up to my room every day, like looking around for laundry. I'm like, yeah. And then I'd give her like, just $5, and this lady would freak out, like, thank you.
You could have gotten for 20.
Yeah.
Should have left 20 in your undershorts.
Bleached underwear and a full release.
Did I tell you about my trip to? Speaking of Bill Blumenreich, another time. I think it was the same trip. I think I was out there for a couple days. He goes, "Hey, dude, you want to hang out and go drinking with my friend?" And his daughter was with us too and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he doesn't tell me his friend is the guy that's pretty much in charge of the Big Dig in Boston.
Oh, is that a celebrity?
Well, his name's on all the construction stuff up there.
Really?
I forgot his name, but a really, really nice guy.
John Deere?
So we take
Caterpillar.
So we take this ride out, out to the further out on Cape Cod. And all of a sudden the road ends and we're at a beach. And I'm like, well, where are we going? We're going to do dinner, hang out, have drinks, and just have a good old time, right? So he goes, oh, you see that island out there? I go, yeah. There's an island probably, I don't know, maybe a mile offshore. Pretty big island, dude. Pretty big. Probably the island's probably a mile by maybe a mile by mile. Mm-hmm. Nice square mile island, okay?
Perfectly square island.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
So all of a sudden I'm like, dude, where are we going? He goes, you see that island out there? We're going there. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. And I go, well, how are we supposed to get there? He goes, you see that car? And at this point, I see a car on the island. I go, yeah. He goes, that's him. He's coming to pick us up.
Really?
Dude, I lived a James Bond movie. I'm like, get the F out of here, right? I see the car a mile away, comes down to the shore of its island, and then just pops in the water. He has one of those freaking...
Oh, one of the boat cars?
He has one of those boat cars.
A boat car.
And he chugs over to where we are, and all of a sudden just rides right up on the beach and goes, hey, nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you and Anthony. Used to listen to our show and everything, this guy. He's massively huge in Boston.
Wow.
Well, one of the richest guys in all of Massachusetts, whatever, right?
Dude, a car like that's going to run you $15,000.
At least.
And it was old, too, because I guess they don't make many of these anymore, and he has two of them or something like that. It was a convertible.
It's got the little propeller out the back.
It's crazy. So he picks us up, and then, and then we're tooling back to his island, his private island, that he just bought from... Well, he didn't buy. He's leasing from the state of Massachusetts. For the next, 100 years, it'll be in his family or something.
Huh.
And, these old people used to live there. Well, they still live there because he didn't want to kick them out because they're, in their 90s or something. And so... I
heard Don owned one of those cars and backed over a trout.
So then we tool across the water onto this guy's private island.
We're going to miss little Trouty.
Right. And the island is the one market he's successful in.
1 mile by 1 mile.
This guy has so much money. We get up on to the house that he was pretty much, just tearing down to build some kind of mansion or something. And then he had some kind of beekeeper guy. One of his help is this guy that...
And the beekeeper was Tom Selleck. No?
So we get up to the main house, which is at the top of the island or whatever. It was like Fantasy Island or something. It was crazy. And all of a sudden, this guy that works for him is in a full bee outfit.
Dude, this is dressed as a bee or a beekeeper outfit.
Oh yeah.
He's in a bee outfit.
Yeah,
it really was crazy.
It sounded like a Clay Shaw, David Ferry type of party.
It was. He was dressed as a beekeeper.
All wearing white makeup,
painted gold.
He was dressed as a beekeeper, and he's also one of the help. There was help all over the place. By the way, this isn't the drugs, taking over today. This all happened. So all of a sudden, we're sitting around, and the beekeeper comes and gives this dude, wine that I guess we're going to drink. And these bottles were so freaking old, it wasn't even funny, right? And all of a sudden, I asked Bill, I'm like, Bill, why is that guy dressed like a beekeeper? He goes, oh, his job is to destroy all the mosquitoes on the island. Ooh. His job was to get rid of all mosquitoes and bugs that bite you on the island. And
I
guess they came up with some kind of invention with these huge drums with some kind of chemical that forces these the mosquitoes and these bugs. Oh, and the black flies or the green flies, the ones that really
they
sting.
Bite you when you're trying to lay on the beach.
Yeah. So they came up with these inventions. And
bit Ben's hog once, and it swelled up, and I don't even want to talk about
5,000 times.
They had drums all over the island, and with these chemicals or whatever, the flies and the mosquitoes would go into the barrel, and then they would die because they can't come back out.
Aww. Fly goes into the barrel.
Dude, the guy was showing me how many mosquitoes and flies these inventions were killing. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. He was attempting to eradicate all bug life on this island.
I heard you actually tried to claim half credit for inventing that barrel with the chemical, and then he called up some hack journalist and said no, he had invented the bug-killing barrel. Is that true?
Well, yeah, you got me now, bro.
That sounds like a fun trip, though. I mean, looking at bugs with a guy in a horse cock, that sounds like a great time.
Nude faggots with wine bottles running down the beach?
No. Now you're confusing all the stories here.
Blumenreich swinging his cock and killing bugs and deer and antelope.
And then he had
flying cars.
Then he takes me on a
floating car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
He takes me on a tour of the island. A bunch of us. It was a golf cart that sat 6 or 7 people. It was 3 rows. I've never seen a golf cart like that.
A stretch golf cart?
Yeah, with headlights and stuff. And he made his own paths throughout the island that had sawdust on it. And it was quite nice. And everywhere you looked were these barrels just killing mosquitoes and flies. And I gotta be honest with you, it's nighttime at this point, and we're not getting bit at all. So the beekeeper's doing his job. And then... Why
would a beekeeper be hired to kill mosquitoes?
Well...
He wasn't just... Oh, he was just wearing the...
Yeah, so he wouldn't get stung.
Outfit? Oh,
yeah. So he wouldn't get stung, And then he's showing me where he's going to, put in a 3-hole golf course. I mean, it was just insane how much money this guy has. And then we go back to the house, and all of a sudden the wine is on the table. And the guy goes, you like wine? And I go, yeah, and Bill's like, yeah. Ooh. And all of a sudden he starts opening the bottle of wine, and the cork breaks or something. So he goes, damn it, I got to get another bottle opener or whatever. So at that point,
you want to join me?
So his hot wife and the hot nannies were all over the place too. But that's another story.
Was there any security on the island? There was, right?
There seemed to be guys on the perimeter. Let's just put it that way.
Walk on the perimeter.
I don't want to acknowledge that. It seemed like there was something going on there. It was a day I'll never forget. So then he goes into the kitchen, and Bill Blumenreich looks at me and gives me a look and goes, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "That's 1982 Chateau Lafite or something like that."
Something really good.
Yeah, and I go, "Well, so?" He's like, "So that would cost you at least $1,200 to $1,500 a bottle in a liquor store. You can't even buy this in a restaurant." I'm like, really? He's like, and the label is falling off the thing. So the guy comes back. He finally opens the bottle, and you think it's a nice bottle of wine, right? You're going to enjoy it. It was the nicest glass of wine I've ever had in my life and ever will, I guess. And we went through 2 bottles, and, the guy whose house it is, he's just chugging it like it's a box of wine.
Really?
He doesn't even understand why this wine's so good. He just knows he's rich, and he's going to drink really good wine.
And then there was machine gun fire through the window of their bedroom. Comes out, the security guys are walking around. So where my wife sleeps, where Ben comes to play with his hog.
So then we're just sitting out there in the middle of the island, looking over Cape Cod and the stars and stuff, drinking this crazy wine. And the guy's like a huge fan of the show, thought we were really funny when we were up in Boston, was bummed that we did what we did, and then it was time for dinner and. I don't know. He got his wife and the nannies, and then he made multiple trips back to the mainland in this boat, even though we were all hammered.
In his boat car?
In his boat car to get back in our cars to go to a nice restaurant on Cape Cod.
I never have these nights like this with bottles of wine and looking at the stars and never.
Dude,
doesn't happen.
It was awesome, though.
My nights are not like that either. My nights are spent hanging in a restaurant over a comedy cellar in the Village with fucking awful Bob Kelly. And trying to theorize on things, and I look for fucking prostitutes that have female genitalia. That's my evening.
That's mine is point and click. That's me. Mouse in hand.
Dude,
bottle of wine. No wine glass in my hand. It's a mouse.
When we got fired, I just decided to be, I don't know, an adventurer. I was just wandering around the country.
I don't like this. I don't hear about a lot of chicks in this story. This bothers me. Just 3 men enjoying some wine on an island.
Look, I know Opie probably as good as anybody. And I know there's no funny business going on. But your stories conjure up an image every time.
You know why? Because I'm honest.
Because it's always
this shit happens, and I'm being honest.
I got you.
I could have made the nude beach story sound better. That there was a group of women also on the beach naked over here, and then I saw the guy. No, I'm telling you exactly what happened.
I understand. You don't have to sell me.
I'm telling you exactly what happened.
It's just it's reflected in instant feedback and everything. The stories just conjure an image of hanging with men and drinking wine.
Sipping.
It's usually sipping wine with a man.
I know. It wasn't just... I mean, his wife was there and a nanny that didn't speak English.
Nanny hot?
Yeah, actually really hot. There was a couple of them.
Why would a wife...
I think he had 2 or 3 kids.
Have a hot nanny, because the guy always goes after the hot nanny.
His wife was like... some old actress. I didn't recognize her. One of the hottest women I've ever seen in my life.
She was an old actress, though?
Not even old. I shouldn't say an old actress because she was very, very young.
Yeah.
But she was acting. She was an actor and decided, screw that. I'll marry a billionaire, I guess.
Is he a billionaire?
Oh, my God. The guy's really cool, and she was really, really nice. And they had 2 or 3 kids, and each kid had a separate nanny. So it was like a whole thing going on.
You're a kid with a servant. Jesus.
Separate nannies. Wow. Really hot wife that was easily 20 years younger than him, easily, and the beekeeper, and then other the
bug guy,
and then other guys on the perimeter. Let's just say
guys.
Yeah, taking care of business.
Yeah, dude. I tell the stories how they happen. Jeez. What can I tell you?
I understand. Did Bloomerreich have like a knapsack with a condom in it?
Condom was a knapsack. Keeps his stuff in it when he needs it.
His fag bag.
Stretch it on over.
All right, I don't know what we were going to do there, but
now I'm going to try to check out his package when I see him.
When Ben and I saw the Magnum condoms on the dresser or whatever, we laughed ourselves.
Well, Ben was laughing for different reasons than you are. Ben's like, I tried one of those and I had to sew 2 together.
All right, why don't we take a break?
Did the guy you were staying with make his man helper wipe your ass with his sleeve? Is there a Ramon?
Ramon, kill these mosquitoes.
All right. Hey, Francine's here. She's going to do the news for us today.
Yes.
Nice.
Also, I got a little blast from the past that we just found.
Tool bag saying, that's a 1986 Java log. You can't even find these on Christopher Street. They just...
That's all right.
They just come in one after another.
It's all right. It's okay.
Was there a midget standing on shore saying, hey, boss, the Opie, the Opie?
Yeah, I really felt... I mean, the guy owns his own island. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. Anyway. And then have enough money to just decide to eradicate all bug life.
Yeah.
So you could...
on your island.
So you could sit outside after the sun goes down and drink your $1,500 bottles of wine. I've heard he's gotten bored of the island and he's like moving back to the mainland already or something. But
what do you do on an island? You hear crickets? You're like, ugh.
Dude, it was
crickets. Just sit there listening to crickets all
chirp,
night.
chirp. All right, I get it.
Dude, it's pretty cool though. It's a whole compound he was making.
As a
satellite TV and all that. Yeah. Well, he had the boat car though, so he could leave whenever he wanted.
That's kind of cool.
What if it's raining though, Opie? What if the waves are blowing?
You got a nor'easter.
And then he's like, we're it's like right. it's night and we're at a cliff and looking down where like him and his family go and have their own just private beach whenever they want. I mean, it's nuts.
What do you do in a good point? What do you do when it snows and it gets frozen up there?
Yeah.
I don't think he lives there all year long. Oh. Dude, when you have that much money, I mean, he probably lives there a month out of the year.
That's
2 months out of the year.
Probably got a one-bedroom somewhere.
Yeah. Probably.
All right.
A little small place.
A little comfy
cottage.
Is Otto and George here yet? Not yet. We're still waiting for the return of Otto and George.
Probably hitting traffic coming in.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that was interesting to anyone, but
I wanted to hear about it. Well, you know the most interesting part to me.
Go ahead.
No. I'm never gonna look at Blumenreich the same.
Because he's got a huge hog.
Never. I gotta check out his package now.
He's got a huge hog.
So wear tight sweats, Billy.